So welcome to Del Mar, everyone, here at the Breeders' Cup with all the news on the At The Races social media feeds. What's happened today? Well, Aidan O'Brien arrived, the Ballydoyle maestro, on the back of devastating news, really, that Jan Brueghel was ruled out of the Melbourne Cup. Now he wants to conquer America. We also caught up with Charlie Appleby and Hugo Palmer and loads of other stars. Let's start, though, with City of Troy. The big gun has arrived. Aidan, we're not going to go through all the horses now, but obviously City of Troy is the talk of the town. How was he this morning?
Yeah, good. He just did a gentle canter around. Everything went very well. Alan led him and Rachel rode him, and everyone seemed very happy, Matt.
I spoke to Todd Pletcher yesterday. He wanted to be drawn 10 with Fierceness, who effectively is going to try and probably do the same as City of Troy. You're drawn much lower. Would you have preferred to have had a high draw?
Yeah, no, I think we're happy. Obviously, there's no secret made of it. City will go forward and see where that'll be, and Ryan will decide then, really.
You say you'll go forward, Aidan, but we know, because history dictates, it's hard for Europeans. They can miss a beat at the start. Is there anything you're doing between now and Saturday to try and get Troy out those stalls as quickly as possible?
No, everything is done. We think we've looked under every stone we can, but obviously the day of the race is then what happens a lot of the time. Then there's a stone maybe we didn't look under, but we think at the moment we've done everything we can. He went to York. Obviously he was ridden a little bit forward out, and then he went to Suddle and he was more forward, and the pace was much stronger obviously in Suddle than it was in York. We think we haven't. We think we've done as much as we can, and then obviously we'll see what'll happen, and then obviously Ryan will make his own mind up then, really.
How excited are you by this, Aidan? You've tried so many times. You've tried with great horses. You've tried with American-bred horses, Scat Daddies, etc. Now you've got to justify. And it's that bloodline that really gives you hope, is it? Yeah, that's it. That
was the dream, obviously when the boss went and got Justify. We didn't think you could get him, but he got him, and that was the dream. Obviously, we see what's after happening already. To have a horse that could do grass and dirt, it just makes it very exciting for us. And obviously, we knew what Justify was the most incredible horse of all. To do what he did at 3 and be a triple crown winner, incredible, really. Never even raced at 2 and did that, you know. So City, we think, has a lot of his qualities, and obviously he's out of a great Galileo mare as well. So yeah. So listen, hopefully, Matt. 2
more questions. You talk about looking under the stones, and one of the big things is the 2,000 guineas, the stone maybe was the stalls. We hadn't quite looked under there. Is there anything that you're thinking now, I wish I'd done, that I haven't done yet?
No, not at the moment. But obviously, when the race happens, there isn't. But like, we know that this is kind of the most fiercest race that any thoroughbred can go in and be tested in, and obviously he's only a 3-year-old.
You think that this is the ultimate test of a racehorse, the Breeders' Cup Classic?
I think at this time of the year it is. Obviously the classics are. That's what the classics are there for. They have to mature for classics, and they have to have speed, and they have to have stamina, and he has done that. But the classics are the ultimate test of a 3-year-old. They start early and then go on, and then this is the ultimate test at the end, after being trained very hard for classics, run through the summer and then come here and run against older horses, and a different continent, a different ground, different surface, different race pace. There's so many things are going to be new and different to him. So obviously we prepared him in Europe, and he's going to canter 4 days out here, and literally canter. And listen, he's an awful lot to overcome, but I suppose what gives us hope is that we think he's the best horse we've ever had, and we have had horses that have ran very well in it before. Ryan is vastly experienced now, and so that's all. Like, listen, obviously it's a dream. Dreams don't always come true, but we're happy, very happy where we are at the moment. And at the moment, we don't think we could have done any more, but we'll wait and see.
Time to digest a little bit of Hugo Palmer here at Breeders' Cup. Of course, actually, let's just clear this up, Hugo. It's the Waco Kid, isn't it?
I believe it's the Waco Kid. I think he was from Waco in Texas.
Bit of history to that as well.
Yeah, a character played by Gene Wilder in a film called Blazing Saddles, which was quite an old film now, and all these horses owned by the Gene Genies have all got a Gene connection.
Right. So you've had a few runners here before. I think 5 Breeders' Cup runners so far. 2 good guns to go. Let's start with Waco, because this is a horse who has mixed it with some pretty good animals And, I mean, in my book, you'd be expecting for a very solid run at least.
Yeah, we're very hopeful. I think what's been encouraging about this horse is that every run has been better than the last. Yep. He's very much going in the right direction, and I think that he's going to improve for stepping up to a mile. I know he won on soft ground last time, but I genuinely think we were actually trying to avoid soft ground before. I think he's totally versatile, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Beat Diego Velasquez. You made all last time. Stall 9, will the idea to be try and crack out?
I just have to leave that to Tom, really. I think see how he jumps. He's 9 is wide. But it's not so wide as to be impossible for his chances. So I would have thought get a position as good as we can and hopefully be within striking distance of them turning in would be the easiest thing to try to do.
Seagulls 11 comes from stall 7, which you'd say was just about perfect. A horse who's been knocking at the door against good horses, Ancient Truth, and of course Score the Champ. Again, a horse that probably has to up the game a little bit to win, but should be bang there.
Yeah, I think both my horses need to probably step forward 4 or 5 pounds in order to win the race. I think, to be honest, though, that's probably the same of every horse in the race. I'm not sure that there's a horse in the race that's produced a performance yet that is quite at that level to win a Breeders' Cup, so someone's going to. Yeah, I was kicking myself going to Newmarket, really, that I suppose we've been very lucky this year to have a number of nice 2-year-olds, and in trying to keep them apart, they can't, try to avoid what we've done this time, running them all in the same race. So I kind of kicking myself that I'd gone to the Curragh with Seagulls 11, because I thought he would have certainly had a really good chance in the Tassel Stakes. Luckily, the Waco Kid stepped in and got that job done. But the Waco Kid's a group winner, and Seagulls 11's only a maiden winner. But yeah, he showed great gate speed at the Curragh and in the Dewhurst, and I would have thought that Louis Sayers will be keen to go forward with him. So I would have thought.
Just final question on Seagulls. Are you absolutely sure he will stay the trip strong?
I think he'll improve for it.
Right, okay.
But you don't know until, I felt that about Dubai Legend when we last came here, and he didn't stay, and he ended up winning a Group 3 over 6. So, I'm as sure as I can be that he's crying out for a mile. That's what Sheen Murphy said after the national stakes, that he's crying out for a mile, and that's very much where when the plan was made to come here.
It's always lovely to see Starcraft, as I call him, of course, Christophe Lemaire, who made his name back in the day on the great Starcraft, winning the QET at Newmarket. Now, you are huge in Japan now. Clothing range. How's the clothing business going?
Going well, actually. Look, I'm wearing the...
Is that all you? Is this all
full set? The full set, yeah.
Lovely.
Even the polo shirts. Yeah. No, it's doing well, and we have good feedbacks from the fans. And the fans who bought at the beginning, they are still coming to the pop-up stores and buy the new stuff. Okay. So I'm happy. Okay.
Still waiting for my freebie, but yeah, it will come one day, yeah?
You will have when I will come to England.
Tell me, you, as I say, are huge in Japan. Japan, on the world stage, still getting better and better. You ride, I want you to tell me how to say this exactly right in Japanese, which you're fluent in. Derma, I would say Sotogake?
Derma Sotogake.
Derma Sotogake.
So this.
Sotogake.
Sotogake.
Sotogake, okay. Second in the Breeders' Cup Classic last year. Yes. You're trying to go one better.
Yes, it was a very good run last year, finishing second. We were very proud of him and very happy with him. Unfortunately, this year it was a bit disappointing, but he's back to America. He loves running here. He ran very well in the Kentucky Derby and then in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Looked like he's comfortable on that surface, that American dirt. His last run was, as I said, a bit disappointed. I expected a much better run, but this time he will wear blinkers on. He will wear blinkers, and hopefully he will be a little bit more focused on his job and on what he has to do.
Christophe, you know European turf racing as well as anyone. Do you fear City of Troy, or in the back of your mind you just think there's absolutely no way a Derby winner from Epsom can win a Breeders' Cup Classic?
No, I definitely fear City of Troy. He's such an amazing horse. I watched all his races, and he's an amazing horse. And if Aidan O'Brien decided to put him in the Breeders' Cup Classic, it means that he he thinks that his horse has the ability to do well on that surface, and when a horse is good, he can go anywhere.
Christophe Lemaire, one of the world's great jockeys. He rides Derma Sotogake.
Yes.
Joined by Charlie Appleby from Godolphin as one of his big rivals past us, Ramatuelle. Just a little right side kick there, and you've ruled out one of the big dangers to notable speech, Charlie.
You wouldn't want to do that.
Take it out, man. Take it out. Look, 10 times Breeders' Cup winner, going for 4 Breeders' Cup miles. Never been done before. You've done it with a classic winner before. Can you do it with another classic winner?
He's turned up in great shape. As you say, Matt, he's a 2,000 Guineas winner, a Sussex winner. A lot of people back in March there when he was going around Kempton thought that this was the race that it would be suited to him, and thankfully we're here. As we all know, every day is a sort of, not a challenge, but you wake up when you finish the day, thankfully it's over with, and you get to the following day get on with it, should I say, sorry, in respects to he's travelled great. He's been out on the track ever since. He's ticked every box so far. There can be long weeks here.
You haven't been here a week yet, have you?
I said there could be long weeks here.
it could be. What about his flops or his flop? Do we just put that down to soft ground?
Ascot, I generally, as I've said there before, we've all walked away there not knowing what went on there, to be honest with you. And that's one of the races you just have to put a line through it and say, I have no excuses. You know, he was sound, and we've done all of the usual examinations on a horse like him after the race, and there was nothing that came to light.
The Moulin?
And the Moulin was just ground, simple as that. Yeah, Will. So I travelled on it. He tried to travel on it. He says even then you knew you weren't really going anywhere. But as soon as I let him down, he wasn't going to pick up at all. So that was fine. And I was pleased we went there, firstly for the travelling side of it, and secondly to rule out any sort of thought process towards Champions Day.
He's a better horse than Space Blues. He's a better horse than Master of the Seas. But he actually is a similar style, isn't he? I mean, does he just have to try and watch videos of those two and do the same thing?
Yeah, when you say he's a better horse, I mean, to be fair, those horses, they were great horses. And
well, hold on, did Master of the Seas win the 2,000 Guineas?
He just got beat a nose.
Beat. Did Space Blues win a 2,000 Guineas?
Didn't run him on one.
Exactly, and Modern Games had to go to France. So this is a better horse, and he's a Newmarket 2,000 Guineas winner.
We'll find out on Saturday, Matt. If he wins, he's a better horse. Those have been there and done it. He's got to do it. No, look, all joking apart, he's...
You did look as though you were about to thump me then.
No, he's a horse, as you quite rightly say. Look, he's a classic winner. He's the best 3-year-old we've ever brought here, for sure. You know, we just need. He's got the draw in 6 there. As I've said before, any of those draws, we all sort of beat the drum that you need the draw around here. But once you've got the draw, you've got to make the best of it as well. So that'll be down to William and horse on the day and how the race develops. But like I said, sort of going over a trodden path now. Couldn't be any happier with him.
Let's go back to the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Al Qudra was beaten by New Century in the Summer Stakes at Woodbine, but Al Qudra, of course, had beaten, I think people forget, had already beaten New Century. You got slightly hampered. It probably didn't go absolutely as you'd have wished in the summer. Is there hopes that you can reverse that form?
I think there are, to be honest with you. Firstly, I wasn't just post-race whether those horses were quite firing on all cylinders. I mean, it's always hard to say. I mean, everyone was pleased. It was a bit of a long travel for them to Woodbine on that occasion, and like I say, there was just none of them. I felt walked away from Woodbine feeling that they weren't firing, I say 100% there, and so put that behind us. Where we are today, very pleased with the horse. He's been training up in Keeneland there, shipped down last night, went out onto the track this morning, looks great. We got a nice low draw with him. Obviously, as you say, New Century, he's going to be out there in, he's out in 11, I think it is. So our advantage is slightly swinging our way, I think, for this weekend. Do you think Amori City might need a bit further in time? No, I don't think he does, to be honest with you. No, I think this is a perfect trip for him. Had he have got a draw, as I said, Will, where it was a hard choice for him between the two because we felt as their profiles themselves, they were both pretty tight, and I said, guarantee, well, whatever you pick is going to go and end up getting a wide draw, and that's where we are with Amori City in 12. But again, Kudra's got the run under his belt here, so you can't beat that for trying to learn gate speed, whereas Amori City hasn't, and so therefore if he'd been drawn down low, if you don't use that gate speed and you're trapped down that rail, it's hard work, whereas at least we'll have an option potentially if the horse is travelling well enough with him to be able to try and shotgun him.
Not many people talking about Star of Mystery in the turf sprint, all about Bradsell and Big Evs and Believing, etc. But I think you've got a cracking chance. You mix it with Cogburn on pass form, and also you were given one of the worst rides I've ever seen at Keeneland last time. I mean, if you weren't smashing the TV down when you were watching that run last time, I don't know what you were doing. It was hopeless. Hopeless.
Well, the positives to take out of it, Matt, was
glad you agree.
She showed up there and ran a solid race, but didn't have a hard race. So if they'd gone, after like I say, it was all unfortunately didn't work out our way, and if he'd really gone for her to go there and win, which of course he had every right to, you could have ended up having a pretty hard race there, but the gaps didn't even come up the straight there, so she's ended up only just sort of sprinting for a furlong. She bounced out of it very well. Like you say, she's got a nice draw there, got to be able to use it. Repeating myself, I know, but you're right, we've mixed it with the favourite there, and I feel she's a better filly now than she was there at Saratoga.
I love Rebels Romance. You will love Rebels Romance. You go back to the Singspiels and the Pilsudskis of this world, these warrior horses that just keep coming back for more. He's a turf winner already, along with the old Galloping Giraffe Yabir back in the day. He is just everything that Godolphin is, isn't it? Rebels Romance. He's a globe-trotting star.
That's right, Matt. I mean, and someone wrote a piece about it there a few weeks ago, and put him, obviously he's bang there with them all. And if we were lucky enough to get the result that we all wish for on Saturday, that would probably put him at the top of the pecking order of those global stars of Godolphin's heyday. Yeah, he's been a pleasure and honour to have around. Delighted with the way the horse has shipped over. Again, full credit to the team. To have a horse, a 6-year-old, turning up at this championship meeting is probably going to go off favourite and a worthy favourite, I feel, as well. That just shows the horse he is. He's when he got beat at Ascot, I thought you never want to get beaten, but I was just delighted with the way the horse ran, because the pace that day was strong, and he's the only horse that maintained that gallop up the straight there. The winner in the second came from not off the pace, but came from off behind us there, and one went on to, obviously we know, go and win an Arc, and Goliath's there all prepped to go to Japan. So it was a very strong and creditable run.
Yeah, a credit to you as well. In the Breeders' Cup Filly Mare Turf, Cinderella's Dream looks better than Beautiful Love, essentially. It is the Belmont Oaks winner, Grade 2 winner recently. I mean, you'd have a cracking each-way chance. Yeah,
I feel so. Again, she's got experience over here. She travels, she's neat. She comes off a nice break there now. I mean, it wasn't intended to be such a long break. We were due to go to or run at Woodbine there. But like I say, she just didn't travel so well, and it was a bit colicky when we got down there. So needless to say, she didn't run. Toyed with whether to run her in the QE2 there, but again, just felt that she's a filly we know comes into her races fresh and well. So let's just keep her where we needed to be, and for this championship meeting. But you're right, I think she's got a great each-way chance.
Obviously, Notable Speech is the one. I'm not going to ask you your best, because it's obvious that it's Notable Speech, and that's the horse you'll just say to me. Just final question on him. Will he stay in training, whatever happens here? Do you think you'll have him back as a 4-year-old?
That's the plan, yes.
It's great news.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he was an unraced 2-year-old, as we know, and so therefore, we take every race as it comes. But as we stand here today at the moment, the plan is for him to stay in training, and it'll be a nice horse to have around next year.
Yeah. Terrific. It's a great challenge. There was a moment in this interview when I thought Charlie was going to right hook me. I did. I really did. There was that moment. No. Luckily, I know that Charlie's left hook is a lot more powerful. Well, everyone knows what an outstanding young trainer Christopher Head is now, and he's got Ramatuelle. I guess the big question with Ramatuelle is not her talent, Christopher, it's her draw. For a closing horse who's going to sprint at the end, how does she get a run from the inside?
That's a question that you will ask Aurelian pretty much, but it's a pleasure to answer you, Matt. Everything's all right with the filly. She's really nice, and I think this number in the draw is pretty okay, because she got quite a turn of foot at the beginning, and she's capable of waiting afterwards to be able to go back. So I think she's an easy filly, and she can do whatever he wants during the process.
She was explosive in the foray.
Yeah, exactly. Aurélien has done a tremendous job during this race. It was really well done, and I was so happy to see her winning this Group 1 because she deserved it for so long time. And yeah, it's going to be interesting for the next round.
Everyone will say that a mile at Del Mar is a bit like 7 furlongs at Longchamp, but at the end of the day, it's still a mile. Are you confident about her stamina?
Of course, I'm confident, and she pretty much almost win the Guineas, so she pretty much is in the between either the 7 furlong and the mile, so there is no problem for that.
And I think it's fair to say it's been an interesting season for you. There have been difficulties along the way, horses have come and gone, etc. But Ramatuelle has continued to show that when you get a good one, there's no one better out there.
It's been a very strange season regarding the relation between the owners and the trainers, not just only for me, but it was interesting to see that anyway, the horses are beating us, and since the owners keep on giving confidence in the stable, they are still sending a lot of good horses, so it's still easy for me to be a good trainer.
And this is important for you.
It is.
Just final question, how many times have you watched Goldikova win the mile in the last few days? You just 3-time winner, of course, for Freddie, and just a magical filly.
Of course, Goldikova, she was really one of a kind, and she was so perfect on every way. It's incredible, and I'm very proud now to train for the Vertemer, because I just hope that we will be able to get a new Goldikova together again.
Yeah, I imagine they're very happy to have you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
So there's a sprinkling of the news here at the Breeders' Cup at the Del Mar racetrack on Tuesday the 29th of October. We will be back tomorrow with more. Don't miss out on all the At the Races social media feeds.